Forget romantic paintings of silk merchants trading under a desert sun. The most expansive economic network in history was built for war. In the 2nd century BCE, the Han Dynasty faced a severe crisis. Nomadic Xiongnu raiders were relentlessly attacking the northern borders. To defend the empire, Emperor Han Wudi needed cavalry, but native Chinese horses were small and easily outmaneuvered in combat. His intelligence networks located a military solution deep in Central Asia, in modern-day Uzbekistan. They called them heavenly horses, massive, heavily muscled war horses possessing the speed and stamina required to crush the Xiongnu threat. To pay for them, the Han Emperor weaponized his empire's most closely guarded state secret, silk. Wudi dispatched military envoys with caravans of premium textiles, deploying the fabric as an international currency to purchase these superior weapons of war. This map shows how the resulting trade route actually functioned. A single merchant rarely walked the 4,000 miles. Instead, this was a highly calculated relay system. Sogdian middlemen operated as essential nodes, passing silk westward along a chain of outposts, often managed by Buddhist monasteries that acted as both banks and centers of intelligence. The infrastructure of this trade network was forged by military necessity. It demonstrates that a nation's security requirements often provide the direct blueprint for its future commercial expansion. By the time Chinese silk reached the Roman Empire, it had become a defining symbol of wealth. The elite bought so much of it that it triggered a financial crisis, draining Rome's gold reserves and creating a massive trade deficit with the East. To stop the financial bleeding, the Byzantine Emperor Justinian orchestrated an audacious heist. He dispatched monks to Central Asia who smuggled live silkworm eggs and mulberry seeds back to Constantinople, hidden inside hollowed-out bamboo canes. This act of industrial espionage introduced silk production to the West, permanently ending the Eastern monopoly. Control over this lucrative industry eventually migrated to Renaissance Italy. The Medici family, partnering with the Catholic Church, secured dominance over the European textile market by monopolizing alum, a crucial chemical fixative required to lock vibrant, permanent dyes into woven fabric. In 1453, the Ottoman Empire captured Constantinople, blockading the traditional land routes connecting Europe to Asia and imposing crippling taxes. Facing economic suffocation, European powers funded naval expeditions to bypass the blockade entirely, charting new oceanic routes around Africa and across the Atlantic. The Ottoman blockade forced a total reorganization of global logistics. As land routes became too expensive, the maritime expeditions that followed moved the center of trade from continental interior routes to the open oceans. The routes moving these fabrics functioned like an ancient internet. Along with silk, technologies like papermaking and gunpowder were shared across the network, traveling from east to west and accelerating technological progress. To meet surging global demand, the hardware of production had to evolve. Artisans transitioned from human-powered backstrap looms to imposing, heavy wooden frames capable of churning out wider fabrics with highly complex geometric patterns. The pursuit of color pushed the boundaries of early chemistry. To produce Tyrian purple, Phoenician dyers had to harvest and extract the mucus from 12,000 murex sea snails just to yield a little over 1 gram of dye. The sheer labor made the color a definitive signifier of imperial status. Centuries later, a European obsession with vibrantly printed Indian cotton, known as chintz, created a new bottleneck. Unable to match the intricate Indian dyeing process by hand, British entrepreneurs resorted to industrial espionage, stealing mechanical designs to build massive, mechanized textile mills. The relentless craving for these fabrics provided the incentive to swap human hands for iron gears. The textile industry became a laboratory for mechanization, proving that industrial-scale production was both possible and immensely profitable. That industrial machinery eventually trained its sights on Southeast Asia. In 1855, British gunboats arrived in Siam, strong-arming the kingdom into signing the Bowring Treaty, which slashed import tariffs to a flat 3%. The domestic market was immediately swamped with mass-produced British cotton. Millions of yards of machine-spun fabric poured into the region, undercutting local weavers who could not match the low pricing of European factory lines. Yet the craft endured. The intricate techniques of silk weaving and natural dyeing retreated into rural Thai communities. Passed down through generations of women at traditional wooden looms, the knowledge was preserved away from the industrial centers. For the local textile industry to survive, it had to pivot. Instead of competing as an everyday utility fabric, Thai silk was repositioned as a sophisticated luxury cultural artifact. After World War II, Jim Thompson recognized this potential. He realized that the tiny knots and irregularities in hand-woven Thai silk, known as slubs, weren't defects. He marketed these manual imperfections as a distinctive hallmark of the handmade, successfully introducing the fabric to the New York fashion elite. When a local industry is outmatched by the raw volume of mechanized production, its path to survival lies in transforming its raw materials into symbols of national identity. In the 1960s, at the height of the Cold War, Southeast Asia was a volatile geopolitical fault line. As a key ally of the West, Thailand used its image to project stability, sovereignty, and modern civilization to the international community. Queen Sirikit executed a masterclass in soft power to achieve this. Embarking on a massive 6-month, 15-country tour, she utilized her wardrobe as diplomatic armor, allowing the clothing to communicate Thailand's elegance and heritage before a single word was spoken. She formed a strategic alliance with the French couturier Pierre Balmain. Balmain possessed a mastery of structural Western tailoring, a crucial element needed to translate traditional Thai fabrics into silhouettes that the global elite would immediately recognize. Balmain acted as an architect. He used his precise, structured cuts to frame the vibrant dyes, gold threading, and irregular rhythms of the hand-woven Thai silk, merging the soul of rural craftsmanship with Parisian haute couture. The success of this tour laid the groundwork for a massive domestic revival. It led to the standardization of the 8 official Thai national dresses and the creation of the Support Foundation, which provided rural farmers with the resources to become celebrated artisans. The silk thread, which began 2 millennia ago as a tool of military survival, evolved into a sophisticated instrument of diplomatic influence.